Meanwhile, Congress is also getting ready to begin work on the Trump agenda. One of the first orders of business after all of the formalities, illegal immigration. South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds sits on the Senate Armed Services, Intelligence, and Appropriations Committees. Senator, it's good of you to be with us on this Saturday. What do you expect to see? It's being telegraphed that there are going to be raids in cities like Chicago on the day after the Trump inauguration. Is that what you're expecting?
Promises made, promises kept. He's hitting the ground running. He told the American people that he would make sure that they're safe. He told them that he would go back in and the guys that are causing the problems, the criminals, he would go directly after. And that's exactly what he's doing. In the meantime, our job is to make sure that he's got the resources to be able to defend the border, to clean it up, the wall, the security systems, and the manpower. He'll also need some facilities that are large enough to hold if there are people trying to get across the border in the future. And the Remain in Mexico policy has got to be enforced. The other piece of this, though, is we've got to do a lot of this with reconciliation, and that's what we'll be working on right away, which is to, number one, promote energy production within the United States, number two, to bring the revenue in to be able to pay for all of those things that we want to do along the wall, and then finally to improve our defensive capabilities, all of which are critical if we're going to be having peace through strength, which is exactly what we believe President Trump wants to be able to do.
Yeah, this deportation program is certainly going to cost millions, probably billions of dollars to raid and locate and remove some of these people. Is that going to take special appropriations from Congress?
We're expecting that through the appropriations process, we'll be able to handle what those costs are, some of which may be included in the first bill that comes out. And I know that right now there's a discussion about whether we'll have one bill or two bills up here. The process doesn't matter to us. We just know that we've got to accomplish this for the American people. The president's keeping his promise. We fully intend to be able to provide him with the resources necessary to be able to get the job done. That's our job. And we're looking forward to it. The president's already hit the ground running. He's brought in some great cabinet nominees. They've been working their way through the process. He's way ahead of where he was 8 years ago in terms of getting the paperwork in, getting the individuals in front of our committees, and actually getting them through a process, which, while there is red tape involved in it, it's still moving forward at a pretty doggone good pace. I know that we've had Pete Hegseth was in front of Armed Services Committee. I thought he did a really good job, and we should have, hopefully, we'll get him to the floor of the Senate here very, very quickly. I think Marco Rubio is well on his way to getting approval. He may very well be the first one through the entire process, but we've had some very good open hearings, public hearings, and for John Ratcliffe, who will be the director of the CIA, I thought he did a great job in his open hearing, and he did an even better job in the closed hearing. So I think we're really off and running, and I think the president's done a very good job on his cabinet picks.
Of course, we all remember that on day one of the Biden administration, so many executive orders were issued undoing what former President Trump had done. And now it appears that that's going to be happening again. We have a look at what we can expect from President Trump's day one orders on climate and energy. We expect to see him begin the reversal of power plant rules invoked by the EPA, might target electric vehicles, and wants to roll back some of the fuel economy standards that have been put in place under the Biden administration. What else do you expect to see on day one from the president?
Well, once again, he is hitting the ground running. A number of the executive orders, as we understand it, based on our conversations, not just with the president, but with a number of his team members, he's going to issue a whole bunch. His arm is going to be sore by the time he's finished signing his name time and time again. I don't think this is a hidden secret or anything, but there could very well be 100 of them. And I think that's appropriate because he's got to undo a lot of the damage that President Biden did when he came in. He shut down energy production. He clearly started the inflationary trends that have really damaged our country's economy. President Trump has the opportunity on day one to stop some of that and to really get hitting hard.
South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds. Senator, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.